Thank you so much. Welcome, everybody. We're going to be kicking things off here in just a few moments. Maria, you still got 5 people in there, don't you? Okay, good morning, everybody. We're going to get started here in just a couple of minutes. So if you need to hit the restroom or anything, restroom for the new folks, restrooms back out past the front desk there and around the corner. So grab you some coffee. Pam will take care of you with orders, coffee, water, meals, breakfast. I just had a really good Denver omelet. Was it Denver omelet?
No, was it? Ready to order.
Oh, it's the old farts omelet, the seniors omelet. That's what it was. It was really good though. Don't let the name mislead you. Before we start, who's bought or sold a house in the last 30 days? Who has bought or sold a house in the last 30 days? Don't everybody jump up at once. Let's do this in an orderly fashion. Anybody? Nobody has bought a house or sold a house in 30 days. Why are we here? This is not harassment. To buy more houses, right? Okay. Is anybody working on a house? Yeah, you're always working on a house. Just being a property manager. Okay. Is anybody rehabbing a house currently? Your own or one of your tenants?
A guy who out of state called me and hired me to be in GC.
Oh, nice.
I don't want to be one, but
Okay.
here I am.
Okay. All right. And you're doing a rehab? Okay. All right, folks, listen up. Listen up. Okay. Say it again. Okay. Good. And how long you been doing that? Yeah.
Okay, it'll be done in like a week. It's gonna be like, it was major though, 3 bathrooms. Tile.
Okay. Okay. All right. Nobody's buying or selling. Is anybody talking to a seller? Angie,
Yeah, but it's just a regular.
just a regular seller. You talking about a retail,
Retail.
one of your
Yeah.
listings type sellers? Okay. We don't care about them people.
Yeah, it's
Just
not that.
okay. Okay.
Hey, Tim?
Talking to a seller. It's probate deal. Okay. All
Hey,
right.
Tim?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm communicating with owner of a vacant house in Carpers Cove. We're
Okay.
just working together to see what's going to be a convenient time for both of us for a seller's appointment.
Okay, Jonathan. Let me go back to Michelle back here. Okay, so we got a probate deal. Is this a new probate? Is the probate completed?
It is not.
Okay.
So he said within 3 weeks, he would have the paperwork.
Okay,
And his mother recently passed.
all right. Do you know how many heirs are involved?
Errors?
How many heirs? How many are,
I think it's just him.
okay,
So far, we have the virtual assistant talk to him.
okay,
And so I have yet to talk to him.
Okay.
But right now, it just appears to be him.
so if it's a single heir, life is much easier. You get 10 heirs involved, life gets difficult.
Yeah.
So, but be sure you don't get, you want to make sure you're talking to the executor or executrix, okay? You do not want to be talking to every one of the heirs. Sometimes you can't help it. Sometimes the executor's not here local and you end up talking to somebody else, but, is there a deal?
Don't know yet.
Okay. So keep us posted next month or the next meeting that you come to. Hey, Peg. What's that?
Value,
Okay.
so I don't know.
Okay. Well, you need to get into the pre-screening and get the details and go look at it and estimate your repairs and so forth. So anybody else have anything in work? Okay. Jonathan, you had you said a probate where? You there,
It's
John?
not a probate, it's a vacant house in Carpus Cove.
Oh, okay.
Isn't too bad. And that, I did some cold email to him and he told me he was interested in selling and we're just working together to get a time that's gonna work for both our schedules.
Oh, okay. Good.
I got an eviction going on. No fun.
Yeah, well, that's no fun. Is that your Baytown?
Yeah, the one down in Orange.
Sorry to hear that.
It is what it is.
We all go through it, unfortunately.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and kick this off. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the group. And let me see a show of hands. First time. Nice. Nice. So for those of you it's first time, how did you find out about us? Just curious. Meetup? Okay.
Email.
Email? Okay. Referral? Anybody else? Referral? That's right. Michelle, she's building a clan over here. But that's good. And your referral too?
No,
Okay.
Nita.
Okay. Okay. Well, welcome to the group. We always like to know what's working and how you found us. So we're going to go ahead and get this kicked off here and get started. I had some technology problems this morning. I'm glad to see the folks made it online. Somehow it looked like the 1 hour reminder email that everybody gets for this with the Zoom link for those attending virtually. Somehow it got completely deleted from the email reminder that went out. So I had to jump through hoops here and get that fixed. So okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and kick this off. We are the West DFW REI group. And I like to call us the watering hole for North Texas real estate investors. Come here, drink the Kool-Aid, learn the business, and share it with others. Invite other friends. We're all here to make more money, right? And do more deals. And if we have more people here that are doing deals, or maybe contractors and stuff that we can use, then we all stand to make more money, right? That's what it's all about. Every one of our events that we do is designed to not only help educate you, but network and build relationships and do more deals. At the end of the day, that's my goal. I want to do more deals. And if you're new in the business, or even if you are been around a while and you're not doing a deal, we want you to start doing more deals. So hopefully what you're going to learn today from Arnie on foreclosures in Texas is going to be just one avenue for you to do more deals. To me, you don't want to do just one type of deal. You want to diversify and do multiple types of deals. I mean, you don't ever know what the next deal is going to be coming to you. People that do probate deals like it because they're good deals, but they're not as frequent as you might find on a wholesale deal. You know, an ugly vacant house, you might find those more frequently. You know, pretty houses subject to, you know, they're good deals, but you got to learn it. You got to know how to identify them and how to structure those deals. So they're all different. And so you want to study different types of transactions so that you can recognize that deal and move on it when the time comes. And if you're not sure, that's what I'm for, right? So call, email. The easiest way to do that is go to the top right corner of our group website. There's a contact us button. Email and phone number right there. So just remember that. I get a lot of people saying, how do I reach you? Well, go to the contact us button. Okay, real easy. A few admin notes before we get started. We want to thank all of our trusted vendors. You're going to hear from them in just a minute. We couldn't do these events without you, so thank you very much for supporting the group and supporting all of our members in the group. Please turn your phones off or on silent, and if you need to take a call, just step outside. Restrooms are clear around to the left past the checkout counter there at the front door. Deal and vendor tables are here in the back. Kind of small today, but we've got a table over here. It's got all of our trusted vendors. Please take that information. If the vendors are not here today, please reach out to them, have a conversation with them, and find out how they can help you do more deals in this business. These are people you can trust. We're going to talk about that in just a minute. We have had some email issues with some of you, with some of the older email accounts like SBC Global, some Yahoo, Roadrunner, SBC Bell, SW Bell, ATT.net. So if you're on one of those kind of emails and you think that maybe you're not getting much from us, which you, okay, because we have a lot of events. So if you're not getting email, you think you're missing something, please reach out to us and let's talk about it. We need to change your email if you can, so that you get our email. Be sure to, while you're in your members area, click on the admin tab, I think it is, and look at the subscription stuff that you have checked or unchecked. You have several things. You can unsubscribe from email. Somehow, many of you as members have been unsubscribed, which means you're not getting any of the meeting notices and events and important information or membership renewal notices, stuff like that. We think it's a technical problem, but if you find that your email is unsubscribed, please tell me. Please send us an email or call us and let me know so that we can report it to our technical support folks. Very important. If we can't communicate with you, it's kind of hard to keep you informed on what's going on. So, but there's other subscriptions in there, like the website demos. You know, if you're a vendor and you're not buying houses and you don't need the free website, then maybe you don't want to be notified of the website demonstration emails. So you can pick and choose which things you want to be unsubscribed to. For those of you on Zoom today, I recommend you turn on your video camera and so that we can see who you are and get to know put your name and face together. Hello, everybody. Welcome. And so for the Zoom folks here today, they got the information about Zoom profiles. And for everybody that's new here today, we have had to put our foot down and get serious about Zoom profile names. No longer are we going to accept a nickname in your Zoom profile because we've had trouble with hackers. So your Zoom profile must match your group member's profile. So we need your full name, first and last names. Otherwise, you're not getting into these calls. Okay? So very important that you go do that and change your name in your Zoom profile. We don't like to deny anybody. We want everybody here on Zoom, but we have no choice. If we don't know who you are not getting in. The manager's been kind enough to give us a 10% discount today on your breakfast. You have to ask at the checkout when you leave for that discount. Okay? So be sure to take care of the waitress staff and leave them a nice tip. Our mission, provide the best real estate investor education, support, and community in North Texas. I like to think we're doing that. I can tell you that, and for those of you who've been around a while, we offer way beyond anything else as far as a REIA group membership and benefits than any other REIA group in North Texas. There's only 2 others in Texas, and they're down in Houston, San Antonio, that do what we do. Okay? This is a big deal, this membership program that we have. And for those of you that have been in it, you know, is it overwhelming, the membership benefits? I mean, training back to 2019, audio, video, documents, contracts, sample wholesale contract, assignment contract, all key stuff that you all need to buy and sell houses, right? So, and there's so much more. You get a free investor website with that membership as well. I mean, it's overwhelming. And then access to these live networking meetings and our vendors. So this is a big deal. There's a lot involved. We want you to know we're here to help you and support you, and we got your back. You need help. You need to be involved here and pick up the phone or email and ask for help. Okay? Are you going to get that in some social networking club? Some of you know what I'm talking about, right? All these meetups that are popping up now in bars. I'm not joking. Nothing's being taught, but you're not getting any education and support. No legal updates. That's probably one of the other big reasons to participate in these groups is our frequent legal updates when the laws change. We keep you posted of those changes. So, and this is one big problem I have with the business in general, the mom and pops are a lot of landlords, you know, individual landlords, people that were forced into a landlord situation. And Andrew can probably vouch for this one. They're a landlord because they couldn't sell, right? So those people aren't really active investors like us. But the problem is those people don't get the law changes. You know, when the laws do change, like back when the lease option law changed and become next to impossible to do, there was no public distribution of that information. And people can get in trouble. That's a big reason to be in this room, so that you keep up on those law changes. I hope that makes sense. Come network, learn, and do more deals. That's what we're all about. Come network, learn, and do more deals. So next month, when I ask who's got a story, who's got a deal to tell us about, everybody's hand's going to go up. Tell us about a deal you just did. Now, I don't want you to not come just because you don't have a deal to tell us about. Okay. Remember I mentioned the hackers? Well, that's required some extra documentation that I now have to do for you, and a clear disclaimer on what we're doing and what we are not doing. Okay? West DFW REI Group and West DFW REI Group LLC does not give legal, tax, financial, economic, or investment advice. The West DFW REI Group disclaims all liability for the action or inaction taken or not taken as a result of communications from or to its guests, members, officers, directors, vendors, employees, and contractors. Each person Each person should consult with their own counsel, accountant, or other advisors to legal, tax, financial, economic, investment, and related matters concerning real estate and other investments. Educational purpose and attendance policy.
Right.
This is very applicable for what happened to us. So, and for the people online, why we're changing the requirement for the full names and Zoom profile. The meetings, events, and classes hosted by the West DFW REI group, referred to as the host, both in person and virtually, are provided strictly for educational and information purposes only. Nothing discussed or shared during these meetings, events, or classes should be considered legal, tax, financial, or investment advice. All participants are encouraged to consult with their own legal and tax financial advisor before any investment decisions and utilizing the information provided. Attendance and participation in these meetings are at the sole discretion of the host. Who's the host? Moi. Okay. We reserve the right to limit, refuse, or revoke access to any participant at any time with or without cause. Now, I have never in my life thought about doing that.
But you can't, you want.
But now you know I can if I want. And if I need to. And we had a scenario where we needed to, and we did. But that's the reason why. All it takes one bad apple, right? So I apologize to put you through that, but we have to do this. This includes, but is not limited to, the participants who are disruptive, disrespectful, rude, or who do not align with the values and goals of this educational environment. So unfortunately, I have to say that, but there was one bad apple. By joining any of our in-person or virtual meetings, events, or classes, you acknowledge and agree to this disclaimer and our right to manage attendance as deemed appropriate. So, are any questions about that? Sorry. Okay, let's give a round of applause for our newest. That wasn't for me. That was for the next one, the new members.
I was gonna follow directions after all that. I was like, oh.
I shouldn't have paused at that point, right? I should, but these are our newest members since last month. That's just from last month. You'll be up there. Okay, you can stand up. We have two new members that just joined us today. I haven't even. Must be my age. I'm slow now. I didn't get you added in the last 15 minutes. Next month, you'll be special on the board. No, we're going to put you in bold print. Big. Okay. Please check in with your Facebook folks, and follow us. You can click the QR code, or you can go straight to the link, but it's important that you tell your friends and partners, investors that you work with about this group to help us grow it. Again, more is merrier in the case of attendance in these groups. Okay, if you are a real estate investor and you realize that education is important to you, I'm going to suggest that you take this business seriously and get educated. Okay, I am not. Hold on, noise, folks, please, or you'll get kicked out. I love you, Amy. So, but what I'm referring to about education is these pop-up meetups in the bars, social networking and stuff is not formal education if you want to be serious about this business. I say this every month. I cannot give you the education you need at these couple of meetings that we have each month. Even though our Saturday meeting turns into 2 to 4 hours, which is killer for me, but we do several during the week, during the month, and it's still not enough. I can't give you everything you need. Education offline on the side on your own is important for you if you want to accelerate your business. I give you as much as I can. I bring in speakers as much as I can for the things that you need. I have a ton of this stuff, about $100,000 I spent on my education. I just don't need it anymore. I'm selling it at huge discounts. So if you want to see what we have, please come see me or Maria, and we'll get you a list of what those are. But we're talking about manuals, books, CDs, DVDs, dirt cheap, thousands of dollars worth selling it dirt cheap. It will help me clear out the space that from me downsizing to my new office. I need to get rid of this stuff and you can benefit greatly. Okay. So if you have any questions, come see me. This presentation, as always, for the new folks that don't know this, these presentations are uploaded to the calendar event for today. Down at the very bottom, you'll see my download section. All these presentations are in there, and any of these links will work if you want, in this case, go learn more. You click on the link and it'll take you to the additional information. Any of the links in these presentations are live when you go download these presentations. And there's our office phone number as well. Okay, moving on. Vendors you can trust. This is a very important part of our group. We want you to utilize vendors that you can trust and that are not going to take you to the cleaners. For the first time in 16 years of having this group, I had to fire one, and I'm just going to leave it at that. But just so you know, I take this stuff seriously. I want to protect you. If these vendors, when I use them, if they can't take care of me, what are they going to do to you? Okay? They know my background. They know my viewpoint on the vendors. And if they're not going to take care of me, I don't want them, I don't want you working with them. And if you do, it's at your own risk. As the disclaimer says, you still need to do your own due diligence on everybody, on all the vendors, but I do take this stuff seriously. Okay. So these are people you can trust. I don't want you to be in the news after the next hailstorm, and you get ripped off by a roofer that you found on the street corner, that kind of stuff. So they come out of the woodwork when there is a hailstorm, right? We just had one in Weatherford. You've been busy, I know. So, but unfortunately, Laney's not here today, but so these are all the vendors that we have. These are people you can trust, and I highly recommend that you work with these folks. We have a few of these folks here today, and we're just going to start over on the left side and go around the circle. So Miss Amy, you're up first before you get food in your mouth. I could have waited. Who you are, what you do, how you can help them.
Hi, my name is it on?
Uh-huh.
Hello.
It's recording so they can hear you.
Oh, hello. My name is Amy Sayer. I'm with August REI. We do servicing of owner finance loans. Some of it's easy, some of it's hard. That's an honest answer. We service wrap loans. Those are the hard parts. The free and clear loans are the easy parts. What else would you like me to say? Oh, we report credit to Equifax, which helps your homeowners. If they want to refinance, usually they just buy flat screen televisions or curved and turn their garages into Dallas Cowboy rooms, if you want the honest answer there. And they buy bigger trucks for their driveways because they don't understand credit.
And they go do that just before they're supposed to refinance.
Correct. They do that when they're getting ready to refinance, even though you tell them it's important that you don't buy anything new. They realize their credit's gone up and they're really excited and they buy a new truck and implode their refinance and have to wait longer and then we hear from people that are in the middle of their refinance, what did they do? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't even know why they did it because we all told them don't do anything.
Yeah.
But
So the services that Amy provides is very important for anyone that's doing owner finance notes. You know, most people don't want to be in that position of collecting the payment and making the payment and tracking that. Amy does all that. And she also sends the first letter of default, right? If they're in
we
default.
do. We send the NOIs out. We send the mortgage statements that are required every month. It breaks down the payment for them is required between principal and interest, tells them what their escrow is or escrow balance. It's required on the mortgage statement each month, what their interest rate is, what their principal balance is, all the stuff you're required by law to send them each month. There's a lender statement. Our portal has a big update coming. Lender portal where you log in and look. It's available 24/7. It has a big update coming this August, and our statements have a big update. And instead of having the borrower's name and the loan number, it's actually going to have the loan number and a property address, which costs us quite a bit to get people to
Right.
developers
Yeah.
to rewrite that. They kept telling us it couldn't be done, and I thought, that's not true. Everything can be done. It
It was
just
created to
costs
start.
money.
That's right.
So we found someone who could get that done because I can't remember when you look down there and you see Jose Aguilar, Jose Gomez, all these names. And I can't picture all the people. I can see the people, but I can't always picture which property they go to. But I can see addresses in my head and what houses they are. So we've got them redone coming pretty quick now. So I'm excited about that. And also updating our borrowers portal where it uploads their insurance deck pages to the portal and they can see their payoffs and we can update them. And all those documents are going to be available on their portal so they can pull them off there. So
There's
I'm
a lot of people
excited.
have the same names too. I mean, look at all the Tim Cooks in the world.
Are there more than one? You're
There's
not the
one
only
that
one.
counts, but that's
There
why
really-
my email is Tim_Cook1.
You're the only one.
Seriously. I did that as kind of as a joke. Tim Cook at Apple, he's got Tim Cook, but I'm actually older than he is, so I had the name first. So that's why I did it.
Hey, Amy, y'all do Spanish speaking services as well?
Yes, 90 our staff is 27 and 25 of them are all bilingual.
Oh, nice.
Spoke Spanish first.
Nice.
Did not speak Spanish.
So it is definitely worth your while if you have a free and clear house. If you have a free and clear house, hold down noise, please. If you have a free and clear house that you're selling on an owner finance note or selling subject to deals on a wrap mortgage, having Amy service that stuff for you and keep you in compliance and stuff is definitely worth it. Okay, so keep that in mind. She's been providing these services for a long time. Still has one of my problem properties that she's been dealing with. So, but okay. All the contact information for the vendors is on the vendors page of the group site on the right-hand side for each of the vendors. Just a reminder. Okay, folks, please. Moving on. Service First Mortgage, Miss Ruth Ann.
Not there?
No, you can stay back there.
Oh,
As long as you can
Bring
see
it.
the whole
Okay.
room.
Hi, most of you know me. I'm Ruth Ann Dunham with Service First Mortgage. Been doing this over 30 years. Before that, I was a real estate broker. And I have flipped a property back while I was in real estate. So I know a little bit about what you're doing, but it's a long time ago. I'm a traditional lender, and I remembered thinking Tim's first excitement about what I do was when he found out that I could get his borrowers buying his homes down payment assistance, grants from the cities. These cities have anywhere from $7,500 available, and you can make a lot of money and still get this stuff. 7,500 up to 60,000, the different cities in the area. So when you're trying to sell your property, that's going to be very important to you because you don't have to build that money into your cost. You know, you're not going to have to pay their closing costs probably. You're going to be able to put that money in your bank and we're going to provide their money for down payment and closing costs. So I do a lot of that. And then if they make way too much money for that, then I have state funds that they can get up. I mean, they can make even 120,000 a year and still get state assistance to help them buy. So I do all that. Traditional lender, we have a great hard money lender, but I'm the traditional lender. And then we bought a bank. So then I was able to do creative things like interim financing. And now I do the investor cash flows that nobody remembers the acronym for, DSCR loans. 15% down, don't show a penny of income, no tax returns, no pay stubs, not even what you do for a living. The property basically is what qualifies you for that loan.
How long,
The
how
appraiser.
quick can you close one of those?
How quick? 3 weeks.
2 weeks?
3.
3.
So, you know, the down payment is only 15% on those. You can even get, if your credit score is okay, you can even get 15% down on a duplex if you want to buy those properties. So I do 1099 loans. I do bank statement loans. You know, this having to prove your income anymore is not as big a deal. I know you remember hearing some of that in the past. It's more regulated now, but it's needed and it'll help you make a lot of money.
Cool. Well, thank you very much. Ruth Ann has been with us a very long time, since not long after I started this group. So Mr. Andrew's going to be speaking to us next month as well for a little bit.
Is that the first Saturday of the month?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I'm Andrew with the Bryan's Company Property Management, and we service residential and multifamily homes as property managers. A lot of people end up being what we call accidental landlords. They have a property they can't sell. They get a job that out of state. We've had a lot of relos lately. And then also we've had a lot of people who are inheriting properties. They love mom's house. They grew up on mom's ranch. They don't know what to do with it. So we help them maintain the property, improve the property while they're processing the loss in their family and deciding what to do, or while the property is going through probate for the next 9 months or something. So we basically what we do is we help people who have a property and don't know what to do with it. We assess the property for long-term rental, short-term rental, or selling the property and give them the best advice for what they need to do in their situation. So Andrew with Bryan's Company Property Management. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.
How far out?
We primarily, we are based in Parker County. We've been in Parker County since the 70s. So 95% of what we do is in Parker County. I want to grow the Fort Worth presence. I actually moved to Fort Worth recently, and our company grew like 35% in Weatherford in that year. So I moved back to Weatherford. So we're looking to plant some staff here in Fort Worth. But primarily, if you go downtown Fort Worth west, we'll cover you. No. All right, north we do Springtown, Azle. South we'll go to Granbury. So Mineral Wells, Fort Worth. So Azle, Hudson Oaks.
Who's talking? Who is that?
That's Andrew Bryant with Bryant Property Management.
Okay, just want to make sure. Couldn't hear.
Okay, Mr. Mark.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Mark Rowland with Foursquare Insurance. I joined the group probably 3 or 4 months ago now. After doing some work with Tim. The one thing I do always forget to say when I come to these meetings is, besides being the insurance guy, I'm also, my family is also property investors also. We've got properties that we own also. I've worked in the insurance industry for 32 years now. If it comes to doing investment properties, whether you're buying and holding, flipping, just rehabbing and selling, I've got coverages, I've got policies for them. I'm an independent agent, so I can go to multiple markets to go look for different products. I've got multiple carriers to do anything from builder's risk policies to policies where we can put multiple homes You know, when you get tired of having 10 or 15 or more homes and 10 or 15 or separate insurance policies, we can put them on one for you. So, thank you.
Thank you. Thanks for joining us. So, I just, if you don't mind, I want to say something, repeat something you said earlier. Mark told me earlier that he came to the Lunch and Learn on Thursday. And I just want to let everybody know this. He thought that's granted, he's been with us 3 months, maybe 4, March. So as of March.
Would be right.
So he felt that that event Thursday at the Lunch and Learn was one of the best events that he's been to so far of all the stuff that he's attended. And it was because of the conversation. People were asking questions and there was a lot of feedback and experiences thrown around. And so it was a really good event. And we've had a ton of those types of events. There's no topic for that event. It's just a lunch, learn, and connect. We do a little Q&A session. People have some lunch, shake hands, build relationships. And there was a lot of that throughout the entire event the other day. So I would encourage you to try and come to those lunch and learns. We move them all over the Metroplex each month, going to a different restaurant, trying to get different faces. So it's rarely, I mean, there's some people that attend everything, but you know, you usually see different people when you go to these events. Okay. So just a comment on that. So I think that was all we had in here today, right? No other vendors that I missed. So a couple that aren't here today, Texas Bank, Randy is right across the street here. They are our vendor for the bank when we have our bank meetings. So they take really good care of us there. We are not going to be there next month. We were supposed to be, but they are restriping their parking lot. So you'd all have to hike in order to get there, but they shut it down. So we'll be back here for August. The law firm of Meyer and Colgrove, Milton, he is our newest attorney, real estate attorney. He's going to be speaking to us next month as well. So you'll be a 2-for-1 deal next month. Andrew will be there, and then Milton will be there as well. Milton's going to be giving us one of those legal updates. Remember, I talked about how important that is. You need to be here for that event. It's going to be good. Longhorn Investments, Ryan Blake, he's our hard money lender. He's been here with us a long time. He's helping a lot of folks buy houses with hard money. So if you're looking for a good source, reach out to him. Bearcat Capital, Robin Jackson, she's a note buyer. She's been with us almost as long as Ruth Ann. She buys performing and non-performing notes. She's been in the business a very long time, and she's happy to help you structure a note if you've never done one before. Very important. You don't just want to sit down and write it on a napkin. You probably aren't going to get the best price for it. It can be done, but there's certain ways, certain, note buyers want to see certain things in that note. So be sure you reach out to her if you need note help. RoofMax Pro, Lenny Hudgens, he's normally here. He's another one that's been with us forever. He's a roofer. He will give you free estimates on your houses, and highly recommend you get them out here to look at your house before you make an offer. Okay. He will give you the best price going on a roof. He's done a lot of houses for me. A lot. Lenny Hudgens. Again, all these vendors are on our vendors page. There's a short little video on every one of them. And yeah. Oh yeah. And all their business cards are there in the back table. Okay. Select Title, Martin Garcia. He's the title company guy we've been closing all of our investor deals with for probably close to 10 years. So when you have a deal, you have a question about a deal, call Martin. Again, contact information's on the site. And I think I got them all. Any questions on vendors? These are vendors you can trust. All these folks have been around a long time and they are happy to help you and take good care of you. Okay, moving on. Partners you can trust are REI Store. These are all tools and companies that we use in our business. We encourage you to consider using these different tools in your business. We are doing a lot of these tool demonstrations during the weekday calls. If you look on the calendar, you'll see different events scheduled out there. If there's something in particular you would like to see an event on, please call us and maybe we can fit one in, or go into your past event archives folder. For the members, the past event archives, we have all the video recorded and uploaded. Okay, there is overwhelming number of videos in there going back to 2019. That's a lot of content, folks. So we want you to have reference to that stuff. Do we have a Propelio class coming up? Is that what we're doing this month? Do you remember?
We haven't decided.
Okay. So watch for that announcement. We're going to be doing a tools demo later this month, and we'll get that posted as well. All these tools are cool and powerful. The one we are currently the most excited about is Deal Machine. It has so much capability to it, it's unbelievable. These are other types of vendors that we could use in the group. If you know of anyone that you would recommend that can be trusted and you've used them, please bring them to my attention, introduce them to me. Bring them. The best thing is bring them to this meeting, let them get a feel for the event and see if they feel like they're a good fit, and then we can talk to them. Okay. We want to build our vendors page to have a lot of resources for you. It's all for you. So keep that in mind. Okay. Take 10 minutes. And you've seen the vendors that are here today. Go meet them, shake hands, trade business cards, ask them a few questions, maybe invite them out to lunch for coffee or something. But it's meant to go, if you had a question for that vendor, go ask it now before you forget it. And then come back here at 10 minutes to 10. 10 minutes to 10. We'll start again. Okay.
How do you find contact for trust?
Oh, yeah. We talked that. Yeah.
Face the audience. Back to
Yeah.
or maybe just.
I can probably do it.
There.
Okay. Okay.
Good job.
We're almost ready for you.
I do. We do it a little bit.
What do you mean for trust?
Does everything else. They just.
Home is in a truck.
Yeah.
You find.
They're not.
I don't know. Might be in Deal Machine.
Because they're.
I mean, the trust is the owner at that point.
Yeah.
So you could mail them. You could send them a letter.
Probably the only way. Because the mailing address would be on file.
We could ask. We could try and ask Propelio or Deal Machine if there's anything. I mean, they're both have skip tracing services, you know. Have you tried to skip trace or look at any kind of skip?
I've done some birds off again.
Yeah.
And so as I look up, I come
Yeah.
truck.
There's quite a few.
Yeah.
I mean, you can always mail to them. We send postcards to Trust as part of our mailing.
Need to put together a dummy generic card. That would kind of have.
I have all kinds of, you know, some are pretty basic, some are very detailed. That's an inheritance type. That's not trust. Which,
Depending on how detailed the name was on the process. Well, you know, the detailed name, I guess I could say, far enough, by the name, died, so I don't really get detailed.
there is no formal naming convention on how to name a trust. So, it could be something totally misleading. Like I heard Randy Hughes pitches that, you could use some mafia name for the trust name.
Yeah.
And you think, well, who in the heck's ever going to sue them? With a name of mafia, but there is nothing. Yeah. Yeah, there's nothing that requires a certain format for the name. So if we buy a subject to deal, and the address is 123 Main Street and Joe Schmuckatelli is the owner, we usually will either use their name in the trust name, even though they have nothing to do with it anymore, or we'll use the street address. Just because to the bank can see there's still that connection there. I don't want to put Tim Cook Trust, then they're gonna think, why that name, and this owner, so.
Thank you. No, it's just I had a couple of, I mean, just right.
That's a good way to go.
Got a card for me? What do you?
No, but you can have Amy's card.
Oh, I have plenty of Amy's.
I'll just have to get another one of Amy's card.
We'll be moving on here in just a few minutes, folks. What? Okay.
Everybody that's involved in this. Great to have somebody.
Have a really hard time.
I trust them.
Huh?
They really don't have meetings to get to that. I wanted to put them all, I wanted to do one, maybe not.
Art move.
David's small enough. And they're not really, not even money working. I'm sure.
So, first off, I highly recommend you start local anyhow. Because.
Where I was talking.
Okay. I mean, do you know them? Those people you were originally. So for most people, they don't have that, and they're just so anxious to employ the money that they just take any deal. I don't recommend that. I recommend do it here so you can meet them, see the deal. Some people don't worry about the deal, other than the numbers are good, then they don't look at it, but that's not, I want to see it. I want to know what we're talking about. I have been ripped off. I don't want to do that again. I know somebody else that was so anxious to lend money. They were lending, somehow got a hold of some California investor. Turns out he's got several fraud charges on him. Against private money kind of. So,
In the Rio group of year, like well known, and then the group, and so I think it's comfortable. It's been, like finally got it. It took a lot. I had to go to the attorney, especially the people that were calling me with their notes, they have their like an IMC. company, but the attorney, everything was, everybody knew each other, the banks, everything, they all, right? So I felt good about it. I just, I don't want to take this time to start, but just was something that we, it took me a while to build a relationship. I didn't, I usually do it here. It took me a while to feel comfortable here to where I'm like, okay, that's my biggest.
The one thing about here is that we have access to real MLS comps. So that'll be a comfort, or should be a comfort level to you as to what they think they can sell that house for when it's all done. So that'll help you with making sure that you're not over lending. They're not blowing smoke, you know, about the value and things like that.
It's the North Carolina, it's Karen,
Karen.
me to you.
Right. Yeah, Karen, yeah.
So, you know, all of that is true, but what you're saying, being a lender, so you know the comps as well. I guess it's just a matter of getting it going. I mean, have to wait a little longer.
If those deals are too big for you though,
I'm gonna be first.
you want them,
I'm
right,
gonna be first.
that's the only one.
I know.
Now, a lot of people, after they build relationships,
Yeah.
they might do a second, because we know, I had a couple of investors in my early days, we were good friends, and I really treated them well, and we did a couple of things, only a couple, didn't do a lot, where I had a second. And it worked out just fine, but that's not the norm. You don't want to be in that second position, so.
No, so I think that, I'll double it, I just, I did the one for every single thing.
How much are you talking about you want to do this one?
Be like 50. So what's the next?
50?
Yeah, next one will be like 100. I'm never, that money is all, I'm not gonna stay in there and grow, stay in there and grow. There's enough funds available, and there will be more funds available. More funds are getting really over time. I
The,
know it's really low.
that is a low amount, but what you might find is the person that needs 50 to go with their cash to do the rehab. So maybe they have to put in, you know, 50 or 75 of their own to purchase and then have the rehab cash too. So, and maybe that's the way you should.
Maybe I just do 100 just because it's too hard to do it any other way, you know what I mean? And I'll let you go, and be, your brain is fire.
You gotta, yeah, I think coming to these events and meeting people, starting to get to know them would be helpful to you. Ma'am? Oh, never mind. Okay, folks, take your seat. I got you. I'm not ready yet, so. Okay, folks, have a seat. All right, folks, take your seats. Take your seats. Hello? Take your seat. Do I need to bring an air horn? Please, take your seats. I'm bringing an air horn. That's it. Next time. I haven't, you might not think I'll do it. I have an air horn. If you haven't heard about Weatherford, we have our subdivision where we live is so inundated and populated with deer. It's unbelievable. We drive down our subdivision. We live in a nice subdivision, and there's herds running down both sides of the street along my truck.
What do you do?
And some like to dart out in front of me, you know, but what do I do with the air horn? They think they're being sneaky. They try and sneak up in my front yard and eat my bushes at nighttime, dusk time. I sneak out the front door quietly and hit my air horn, and they go scattering. But you know, we laugh about it, but guess what? Most of the deer, I have very little deer traffic in my yard now, except for late night. They know when I'm sleeping. So I'm gonna change my sleep hours and I'm gonna go out there in the dark. But daytime stuff, we have very little problem with deer now. Everybody else has got them. That's a true story. So, oh yeah, they've destroyed thousands of dollars worth of bushes and having to pull them up and fix the yard from driving my truck in the yard and, you know, stuff like that. That's serious stuff. To pull the old dead bushes out that they ate. They chew on the bushes up this high as they can reach and just destroy it. I put a new fancy Japanese maple tree in front of the home office windows. $300 tree, first night,
Well,
gone.
you need to know your psychology.
First night.
Getting a motion sprinkler when they like cross in.
I haven't done that one yet. I don't know if they're afraid of the water or not. What I have found is a deer. How do we get off on this rabbit trail? But there is a product called deer and rabbit repellent. It's a spray. Do not be downwind of that spray when you spray. Or do not have it turned accidentally towards you because it is the most disgusting smell.
Recall. That they can't see and when the motion and what does it do?
I think they have to have a sensor, but they have a sensor on the dog, I believe, that's what stops them at that. Thought about hiring some retired Marines that, you know, looking for something to do, but I know, but I want to hire them to do it. Yeah. Yeah. There's a few out there. Okay, moving on here. Okay, so for non-members, I'm gonna give you a no excuses offer here today. $5 for a 30-day trial of this group. Full access. It's not a membership light opportunity. It's a full-blown members access to all the documents, all the training. You could go study video and audio files for the next 30 days straight and then walk away. I don't know why you would do that, but you could and only spent $5. So we have a QR code that you can scan and get started. It's $5. You have 2 options for renewal when it's done. Well, you have a third. You can quit. Okay. But the 2 for renewal is you have an annual renewal at a discounted rate of $150, which is $25 off the annual rate today, or you have a monthly renewal at $20 a month. Okay, your choice. But this is an opportunity to get you in the door, get your foot in the door, see what we're all about. Check out the free website. You get a free website for your business. You get all the education, all the tools, all that stuff. So go check that out. You can click those 2 links on which one you want to do. Both of those options there renew automatically at the end of the month. That says day 31, or I guess it is on day 31 actually when it happens, but it automatically renews unless you cancel it. Okay. Are you worth $5 investment? That's the question I want you to stand in the mirror and ask yourself. Okay, moving on. There's the QR code, so you can scan those. Maria has those as well if you wanted to do it here today. Notice the 2 differences, the annual one and the monthly. Upcoming events. So I'm not going to go there, but the calendar event or events calendar, go there and check it out. See what's there. You don't have to wait to get an email from us to invite you to join it, but just go click on those and you can get registered right away. We will be adding a tools event. I'm not sure what topic it's going to be yet, but we will be doing a tools event later on this month. So I've been trying to get this focus groups off the ground here. As I mentioned earlier, this is another one of my attempts to try and get you more education is I can't teach everything. So each one of you have certain talents and skills that could lead one of these focus groups. And you don't even have to be an expert. You just have to get the conversation started, bring people together, coordinate where you're going to do it, whether you do it virtually or meet in Denny's or wherever you want to meet. But coordinating these different topics and continue with the education. Again, I can't do it all. There's just not enough time in my day. Okay. So if anyone is interested in volunteering for any one of these or would like to learn more about it, or if you have another idea for a focus group that's not up here, please come see me. Let's talk about it. Let's see if we can't kick it off. I'm not going to put you in a 5-year contract where you got to lead the group for a long time. There is no formal agreement, no contract like that. So please consider it. I'd like to get that going. We have the ladies group that Devin is leading. That's been going on for quite a while. For all the ladies in here, if you haven't been, please register for those events. They're the 4th Monday of every month, and they need your participation. Okay, why are we here today? Winning with foreclosures in Texas. Do you think, before I bring Arnie up, do you think that foreclosures are a big thing here in Texas? Our economy's booming pretty good, right? Isn't Texas one of the hottest states to move to? According to, I think it's U-Haul, it's Texas and Florida, right? Everybody's leaving California, and as evidenced by one of our Cali girls here. You know, there's a lot of movement to Texas. And, you know, there's a lot of job growth here in Texas. Does that mean we don't have problems?
Yeah, we have problems.
We have plenty of problems. And there's always going to be divorces. There's always going to be death. What? Medical, job loss, job transfers, and all of those, if not planned properly, and in some cases can't be helped, but a lot of it can be prevented with some planning and some action. I don't know if Arnie agrees with this, but related to foreclosures, I've always said a lot of times the reason people are in trouble is because of the stinking thinking between the 2 ears. Yeah, seriously, they don't think through the process. I'm trying to help people do a short sale, and pretty good chance of being able to help them, and you know, without any kind of guarantee, but I was pretty confident in what I could do. And she said, "Oh, I don't have time. I got to go to work." You know, working in a gas station. So, you know, some things, you know, people could help themselves if they just think about it and just ask for help. So, you're going to get a lot of good information today from Arnie. And I've known Arnie he had brown hair when I first met him. So, yeah, same here. But it just, you know, I've known Arnie a long time. He's been teaching this stuff a long time, and I think you're going to really enjoy what he has to say. So, Arnie, if you want to give me 1 second here to.
Probably walk out with this thing.
No, you won't.
Okay.
I have one of those armed Marines outside. Okay, so give me 1 second, folks, to get the PowerPoint switched over.
Okay. I can try this if you like.
James, can you see the foreclosures, slide?
Yes, sir, I can. New opportunities for Texas foreclosures, winning
Yes, sir.
Texas real estate foreclosure auctions.
Thank you very much. Okay,
Thank you, sir.
have fun.
Thank you. You're a tough act to follow, isn't he? Okay, let's start off with what a real estate foreclosure is. That's when the owners don't pay. And the property is auctioned off if they either can't pay their taxes or they can't pay their mortgage. Because most people who have a mortgage also have the taxes paid with the mortgage company. Would you not agree? You know, it's escrowed with the mortgage company. So, but some people don't. Yes. Okay, you need louder. But that's why I have it here. I'm only going to say what's up there. No, I'm kidding. Thank you. All right. The foreclosure auction is to collect the delinquent payments. Now, there are two main foreclosure auctions that we concentrate on. One is the tax sale. How many of you have been to a tax sale? Okay, that's where the taxes probably were not escrowed with the mortgage, and so they may or may not have even have a mortgage and could keep up with it or not, but some reason they didn't get the taxes paid. Okay, and it says from the taxing entities, that could be the city, the county, or any one of them. The school district could be all of them or just some of them, and those are what they call the taxing entities. Now, secondly is the trustee sales, and that's what most people are referring to when they say foreclosures. But the tax is also a foreclosure. It's the tax sale foreclosure. This is a mortgage sale foreclosure, or called the trustee sales, and that's where they don't make their mortgage payments. So those are the two main ones. There are some others too, but these are the two main ones. We cover both of them. Okay? And it's strange now because there's a big shift going on in Texas. Because as you may have noticed, the prices are going up on houses, big time, right? So a lot of people may be on variable mortgages and their mortgage rates go up. But even if they're not, the value of their properties have gone up, which means their taxes have gone up. All right? And, you know, everything goes up. Some people are having their monthly payments double. I mean, it's really crazy. These two types of auctions, of foreclosure auctions, they're similar because both of them are real estate foreclosure auctions. Both of them are on the first Tuesday of the month. Now, there are two exceptions. If the first Tuesday of the month is a national holiday that could be on a Tuesday, there are only two of them. Can you guess what they might be? I'm sorry? 4th of July. Good. Who said that? You're correct. That's one of them. What's the other one? I'm sorry?
New Year's Day.
Who said that? You're exactly correct. Almost nobody ever gets both of them. So I'm excited. One guy said Christmas. I said, yeah, how is 25th of the month the first Tuesday? You know, but if it is on the first Tuesday of the month, one of those 2 days, they have it the next day on a Wednesday. That's the only exception. Both of them have online. Some of the counties are online, some are in person. Both of them. And both of them are held at the courthouse of the county seat. And both of them the same day, by the way. And some of them delete the liens when you buy it. With the tax sales, they delete some liens. With the trustee sales, the other liens. We can go into the details of those later. But both of them have varying competition. I've been to them where there are 100 people or more at a tax sale. I've been where we're the only ones there. We like those better. And both of them result in the buyer being the new owner. So they're very similar. And they're also different. Did I do that? Yes. No. The tax sales require judicial auctions. They have to do all kinds of actions. They have to do all kinds of notifications according to the law before they can even set up the tax. Not so with the trustee sale. That's the mortgage, right? They don't have to notify anybody except what is required. Oh, you got to let the guy know at least 60, 90 days ahead of time, that kind of thing. The tax sales have to notify everyone who has an equitable interest in the property and give them an opportunity to pay before they can even set it up. So that's how much of a judicial thing there is. Whereas in the trustee sale, you miss 2 or 3 payments, they can schedule you. Big difference there. On the tax sales, must be posted online by law and usually on the bulletin board and this is law. It has to be posted and posted online at the county courthouse on the bulletin board. Now, the trustee sale just has to post them. They don't have to announce it. They don't have to list it anywhere else. It's kind of an interesting situation. The tax sale people, who are they? That's our appraisal districts, right? They want you to buy their property because they need the new owner to pay the taxes. The trustee sales, they don't want you to do it because they loaned a guy $80,000 on a $100,000 house 5 years ago. It's now worth $400,000. They don't want to sell it at an auction. They want nobody to buy it and they'll take it over. So it's a little different motivation here. The tax sale, they're going to tell you it's at 10 o'clock at the courthouse, or it's 1:30 or 11 o'clock sometime. They must give you a time. Not so with the trustee sale. They'll say sometime between 10 and 1, or between 1 and 4, or some of them between 10 and 4. And I'd say a third of them or more don't even show up. They'll do it next month, maybe. Big difference in motivation. Yes.
Arnie, can we go back to the last comment about the banks, the trustee sales not wanting to sell the property?
I'll give an example of why they wouldn't.
Yeah, no, that's a good example, but how long has that been happening? I mean, do you know? Because I mean, it used to be that they didn't want to take the house because the fact that it cost them so much money to take control of the house. So when did this change? Was that with the market change when
there's always been
appreciation?
Yeah, it's a good question because there's always been some that look good and some they don't, of course. But now that the prices have gone up so much, there's so much more equity. You know, yes.
You say sometimes they show up.
For the trustee sales, yeah.
Doesn't show up.
The substitute trustee for the mortgage.
The mortgage
Yeah,
company's
yeah.
trustee does
The-
not show up.
Yeah, those. Well, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example. A couple of years ago, I live in Hunt County, and there was a property there we wanted to go, to go to the auction and buy it, and we went to it the first Tuesday of the first month of that month. They never showed up. We went the next month. They never showed up. We went the next month. They never showed up. We went the next month. They never showed up. Finally, we quit going and they showed up.
And the trustee did show up.
They did show up and sold it to somebody else. We didn't go. Yeah. Well, who knows what their reasoning is? I mean, we can guess it. Yes.
If they don't show up, what should we do? We just
Call them and say, why didn't you show up? Well, I was assigned 4 auctions that day. I went to the first one. It took longer than I thought, so I was late to all the rest of them and didn't get to yours.
I mean, can we call the attorney, the firm, and ask them you know, point
And
that
they'll tell you
out.
what I just said. That's why they didn't show up. The other ones took too long. and they didn't get
Oh,
there.
okay.
So we'll get you next month.
Okay, gotcha.
Sam. Yeah.
So do they have to repost it every month? If they don't
Well,
show up, they have to.
they're not
repost
really
it?
posting except on the bulletin board. Yes, they'll have to put it up there again. Yeah.
So does the foreclosure time, does that foreclosure date still space or is it extended because?
Well, they'll tell you where in the announcement. They'll tell you where, but it's going to be at the courthouse. you know.
For the homeowner,
Uh,
for the homeowner.
Homeowner,
What's the question about homeowner? I don't understand.
are they telling the homeowner?
Because this is when they're going to foreclosure, right? So at this point, the homeowner is still in the home, no?
Well, that's between mortgage company and the homeowner, what they allow you to do. I can't, there's no, clean answer about that.
But.
Good
but-
question, but no answers.
But my experience on foreclosures is that they're not moving out until they're kicked out.
Pretty
I
much
mean,
that's the case.
You might find somebody that knows it's coming and is taking action and doesn't want the embarrassment of the constable showing, things like that. But my experience is those people are staying in that house until they get carried out.
Yeah, and they may want to make a deal with the new owner.
Yeah.
If we're the new owners, we'd like to make a deal with them. But that's another story. Okay, the tax sale, they always will give you the minimum opening bid. Now, it's not always exact because there are some guesswork a little bit. They don't give you, here's a $250,000 house, the opening bid 70,000, for example. But they usually don't do that on the trustee sales. Because there's no such thing really that easily obtainable, because if that mortgage is 20 years old, or if it's 12 years old, or if it's 6 years old, it's going to have a different amount that they owe based on the interest rate and how much time and all that stuff. So they don't go to the trouble of doing that. So it's sort of a guess. And the tax sales, it wipes out all non-governmental liens when you buy it at the tax sale. That means mortgage is wiped out. Non-governmental liens.
So IRS lien.
That's a government lien,
Does count, so,
right? That's the big one.
so.
But, there's some interesting things about an IRS lien. They only have a small amount of time to do something like 90 days, I kind of remember. And they have a 6% maximum that they can add on to it or something along those lines. But you don't see it much anyway. Okay. Now,
So I've had one experience with IRS liens. I bought a house from an investor attorney over in Little Elm that I met years ago on a investor cruise. And for some reason she liked me. So she called and offered me this house in Crowley. And it was going to have to be sight unseen because this owner was living in it, buying it, owner finance. She didn't escrow it. He wasn't paying the taxes. And he accumulated some personal tax liens as well. And she was honest with me. She told me the place is a dump. It's a hoarder inside and out. I drove by and she was right. So I bought this house. I think it was for 30,000. I don't remember now. It was pretty low. And it was bad. But she told me up front, she said, since I'm an attorney, I know there's an IRS lien there. I'm going to go do the paperwork filing to the IRS and notifications that they're required to do. And I think you're right. I think it was 90 days. After 90 days, if they don't respond, that lien goes away from the property. So I didn't have to do anything. She did that for me before I bought that house.
yeah, the IRS doesn't want the house.
Yeah. No, this house is bad.
Yeah.
Not only was the house full of stuff, I had to literally turn sideways to walk between the boxes through the living room and the hallway. I thought I was doing good on the clean out. You have to go evict them and constable there and stuff. Then I opened the attic stairway and the whole attic was the same way. And it had a pool, in-ground pool, that was full of stuff too. And then all around the yard. He put piled stuff every.
Hey Tim, we lost your audio online.
Oh,
Looks like you're muted.
I had to, oh no, I unmuted. It's mute now.
Was about had they not caught it, it would have wiped out.
Okay.
Thanks, Tim.
I can hear now.
Wow.
We okay?
Drop that mute button.
All right, that. Now on the trustee sales, it wipes out the junior lien. You know what a junior lien, that's one that comes after that lien that's being foreclosed, wipes those out. The ones that were there before stay on there. Okay? Now, on the tax sales. Let me try it. Nice. Yeah. There you go. In Texas, if you buy a property at the tax sale, you probably will not be able to get title insurance for 2 years. I say probably. I haven't found a company that will do it, a title insurance company. Now, what does that mean? That means it's difficult to sell to someone. You have to disclose that. And they, and it's okay because remember, we wiped out all the liens except government liens anyway, but not everybody who's a buyer will accept that. So it's difficult to flip without title insurance. Okay? Did anybody not know that about that? Most people don't know that. I'm sorry?
Do you usually keep it as a rental then?
Yeah, keep it as a rental. That's what we originally were telling people. Here's what you do. You buy it, you fix it up, you rent it up, and 2 years you decide what you want to do with it. And it's probably appreciated, and so it's a good deal. Yes.
Folks, for those of you on Zoom, if you would please go ahead and mute yourself until you have a question.
Okay.
Thank you.
So there's a 2-year wait. Yes,
Redemption.
we'll get to that. Thank you. Don't let me forget. Okay. No title insurance delay for trustee sales. You buy it, you can sell it the next day. Redemption period, right on cue. For the previous owner. In Texas, now I keep saying that because every state is different. Only about half the states are tax deed states like Texas is, and the other half are tax lien states. What's the difference? Tax lien is like buying a bond, tax deed is like buying one is debt, one is, asset. And of the many tax deed states like Texas, only 6 of them have this right of redemption, which means the owner who lost the property has the right to redeem it, to buy it back. Now, it varies in every state how long that period is. Texas has the longest period that they have that right. It's 2 years if it has a homestead exemption, or if it's an agricultural exemption, or if there's some other one. If it's a mineral right, it's the third one. then you have, in all three of those cases, you have 2 years. Otherwise, it's only 6 months. Now, most people confuse this right of redemption period of 2 years with the 2-year wait for title insurance. It has nothing to do. They're coincidental. Most people don't understand that. They think that's the reason that it's 2-year on title. It's not. Afterwards, with questions, we can go into it if you really want to know what the difference is. But just don't make that mistake to think they're related. They're not. There's no right of redemption in the trustee sale. By the way, in Texas, if they want to buy it back, they have to pay you what you paid for it plus 25%. So it's not all bad. Now, reality, I'd say in Texas, 1% of them get redeemed. Used to be more.
Just paying for the purchase or also
Whatever you purchased and your costs. Now, there are certain things you can do while you own it to improve it, and some things you will not get reimbursed for, and some you will. Here's the rule. Glad you brought it up. And here's what it says in the code. What you paid for it, plus anything you've done to the house that is to, quote, maintain, preserve, and safekeep the property. Those are the words in the code. So that means if you go in and take that Formica countertop and replace it with ivory, they're not going to do that. They're not, because that's not to maintain, preserve, and safekeep. But a broken window, of course, the roof needs fixing, it's got a hole in it, that's okay. If it needs repainting, it's okay. Now, what we always recommend you do as soon as you buy it, get an inspector. Get a licensed inspector to do an inspection report. Then you've got proof of pictures and descriptions and everything of what it needs to bring it up to code. And that'll be a good guideline for you. Good question. Thank you. Okay, so that's how they're different. Foreclosures have less competition than almost everything else. You know why? Well, competition means lower prices. If you go to an auction and there are 100 people there, do you think you're going to have higher or lower prices than when you go to an auction and there are 2 people there? The more competition, higher the profit. Less competition, the better the prices. That's generally speaking. Now, if the foreclosure auctions are so great, make them really sound great, right? Why aren't more people doing them? Why? How many of you have ever done one?
I haven't.
I rest my case. Okay, because there are challenges. There are real challenges. Some of the challenges, for example, how and where can you learn about foreclosures? This club is the only one that I've ever known of that has someone other than me come in and teach them about foreclosures. Alexandra, isn't that her name?
Lexington.
I'm sorry?
Lexington.
Lexington, that was close. Alexandra Lexington, yeah. She did that, what, a year ago or several months ago? Yeah, and, you know, I met with her 3 or 4 years ago. I'm sure she did a great job, but I don't know anybody else who's teaching people about them. And a lot of counties, hundreds of properties every month, hundreds. And that's not just tax sales, that's also trustee sales. Where can you go to find the list of how many, of what counties are having a sale? How many of you, I heard a lot of people say Parker County. How many of you live in Parker County? They don't have them every month, almost every month, not every month. Tarrant does every month. Dallas does every month. Palo Pinto every 3-4 months or whenever they get a deal. So it's different in every county. And how do you know? And then once you find out which counties are having a sale, you go to them and say, okay, 12 properties in this county, 72 in this one, 34 in this one. Now, go find them. And then once you find them, what happens? You know, how many can you research? You get the listings. They're not going to tell you a lot. You've got to do a little work on your own. They'll give you the address, but you need a little more than that, right? So it's a lot to research. And then how do you know what they look like today? Years ago, I used to love this. When I first started doing this, I'd just go to Dallas County every month, sometimes Tarrant, but Dallas almost every month. And there were only 4 or 5 or 6 of us. This is like 20-something years ago. They would go to the sale. We'd meet in the lobby and the sheriff would come out and we'd form a circle around him. And that was it. Then it started growing and they moved it and they moved it and they moved it and kept going. And pretty soon there were 20 people maybe or more would come to the sale. And I would always be bidding for somebody. And after a while, some of my people that we were teaching would come with me. And I'd get questions as soon as the auction was over. Somebody would say, hey, you seem to know a little more about this. And they had questions for me. And so they would always, one guy came to me one day and says, I don't understand. Last month I bought this great house. It was gorgeous. It was a great price. And I went out to it and there was no house. I said, you didn't go see it first? He said, no, I saw there was a great picture of it online. I said, that picture was 6 years old. So a lot of people make that mistake. They really do. Another funny story, they started asking me a bunch of questions and I went up to the sheriff one day and I said, I hope you don't mind they're asking me these questions. He said, mind? I refer them to you. I want you to answer those questions. I don't want to answer them. He said, in fact, if you want to set up in the back a table, you can do it. And we did. We set up a table, had a sign up and all that. And at the end of every auction, people would come over and that's how all this business got started, really. So what's the neighborhood like? Can't find that online. Somebody's got to check it out. Full payment is due when the bid is won that day in both cases. That's a challenge. Now at the tax sales, every county is different. Some of them will say you got to do it right now. Most of them will say, we'll give you 2 hours. We'll give you 4 hours to go to the bank. We'll give the rest of the day. Trustees, as soon as they say sold, got to have the money right there. Then, period. 99% of them. Yep.
Cash.
Well, the way everybody agrees on it is you do cashier checks made out to you if you're the one bidding and you endorse it over to them. Now that means, how do you know how much you're going to wind up paying? So you got to go through this stuff about, well, I better put 60,000 in one, a 10, a 5, some 1, and do all that stuff. Cashier checks. So that runs up a little bit of money too. How do you decide which sale to go to? After you got 4 or 5 of them, how do you know? I mean, okay, I'm going to go to Parker County. Guess what? A couple of months ago, Parker County, you got there, they called off the sale. Or all the properties got paid off at the last minute. Or all but one, and the one you wanted is gone. Those are some of the challenges, right? Then the biggest challenge of all, hundreds of them the same day. Most at the same time.
I have a question.
Yes.
So the auction. Okay, so the house that are abandoned, is that auction off too for those houses that are abandoned?
It could be, yeah. It's not just houses too. It could be a vacant lot, could be 86 acres, could be a mineral right. Those are all things on the tax sales. Now, at the trustee sales, they're usually houses for the most part, but it could be acreage also. Answer your question?
Yes.
Okay. Challenges are not always bad. They often lead to less competition. We love these challenges. We do. It keeps a lot of competition away because not everybody wants to do all that work. And you do all the work and go to one county and it's canceled. We love all those. The bigger the challenge, the more we love it. Because these solutions, we turn into assets. That's the very one I just mentioned. we have a program where we can go as many of them at the same time for you as you would like. And if you miss out on the one you go to, you know, we're at the other one. And more about that. The good news is the expertise, ability, experience, and know-how is because we've been doing it so long. We can handle all of those challenges. Now, here's the next question. Where do you go to buy? You know, now, look, we've got 254 counties, more than any other state. They don't all have a auction, a sales every month. I would say probably 30 of them will have a tax sale, maybe a few more. On the trustee sale, probably my guess is 150 of them may have at least one, you know. But the Texas Triangle is the most popular. You know, everybody familiar with that term? Interesting. The counties with the biggest cities usually have tax sales every month. Houston, Austin, Dallas, San Antonio, Fort Worth, every month. They're going to have them because they have more properties. More properties mean more foreclosures. More foreclosures mean more auctions, right?
More people.
More everything, including more competition. Do we want more competition?
No.
Causing foreclosures.
What,
Are you seeing illegal immigrant deportations causing more foreclosures?
not that I've noticed as a group. I'm sure, yeah.
Onesie twosie, but not a general thing.
And I don't see a lot of them because a lot of the newer people come in haven't bought houses at a mortgage company usually, or I think they would probably pay taxes. And it might be a great question along the border, which we kind of avoid because I just don't think it's
the triangle.
I'm sorry?
It's not in the triangle.
Exactly. Well, guess what? In the triangle, you got more competition. Didn't we just establish that more competition is less good pricing and less competition is better pricing?
Arnie?
Yes.
I don't know if this is true or not, but my thought on the question though, he may not see the difference because is citizenship really being tracked in a foreclosure? You know, he's seeing the houses in foreclosure,
Yeah, we don't necessarily.
but who
need
was
to
the
sell-
owners? That may not ever come out in that process. I'm just guessing.
Yeah, and
that
also,
could be
and you're
why.
right. You're also, if, you know, it's posted online who named the houses in. If it's Garcia, it could be somebody who's been here for 4 generations.
Yeah. Yeah, again, I don't know that that's going to be tracked.
It's an interesting question. I just, I'm going to write it down because I've been asked that before.
Those lenders who specializes in the ITI and loans and the foreign national loans,
Yeah.
they're getting that data now.
It would probably be a more appropriate question for the trustees rather than the tax sales, I would think. Yeah, good point, both of them.
They probably see a difference in numbers, trends.
It would be more tractable there. Yeah, it would be able to be tractable. Okay,
So, I have a question.
yes.
So if are you going to real estates and then the houses say that the houses at the property owner, so the owner of that house they haven't put it for sale or no set to it. So if they're not willing to sell the house, that's not any of the cities or the
Well,
judge.
whatever they want to do, they can do. If they can sell it before it gets foreclosed on, great. If not, it gets foreclosed on.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
So that's up to their decisions.
Yeah. Now,
Okay.
2/3 of the Texas population is in the Texas Triangle. 2/3. That means 1/3 is not. What does that mean? If the remaining population outside of the triangle were a state of its own, it would be the 10th largest state, 11 million people or more. It's like having two different states for the price of one. We have two different markets, triangle and outside, and we have buyers for both. And we know where the prices are the lowest. Want to guess? Where there is less competition. Smaller communities. Like I said a while ago, I was going to Dallas and Fort Worth every month for years until all of a sudden I noticed more people with bigger pockets, and more people who sound like institutions and hedge funds and all kinds of things. And that's when I said, we're out of here. And we started going outside the triangle. Now, you know that we cover both the triangle and outside. Question is, are these smaller towns growing? You tell me. You think yes? Well, I took a little sampling.
Yes.
Take a look at this. Now, 2 years ago, which one? Salina was the fastest growing town in the United States. Last year, it was Princeton. Now you look at that and I know what you're thinking. That's through 2020. What have you done for me lately, right? Well, 2 years later, Anna was still growing. Forney was still growing. Hutto was still growing. Princeton is still growing. Salina is still going. Now, I know what you're thinking now. Oh, that's the pandemic. Of course that's going to grow up, right? So let's take another look. 2 more years. Even more. Look at that.
Yeah,
Princeton, Salina, 34 to 51. I think we got a question. Yes, ma'am. You have a question, Janice?
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh, I'm seeing that the growth here, the pattern is like 3 years after every 10 years of that since 2020. And then 2022, that's
Well,
when.
these are just random years we picked to illustrate the point.
Oh.
Okay.
Well, that's just a handful of cities.
Yeah, exactly.
Not every city's.
Of course not.
Every city's experiencing growth, but not like that.
Yeah, the town I lived in went from 8 people to 18. You know. So, but that's 300, you know, better than 200%. So we're the service company for the investors. We do all the work necessary, or just the things that they don't want to do. We can do the research. We can attend several sales at once. We do cover the whole state. That's what we do. Provide services for investors. We don't bid for ourselves because I don't want anybody to think, oh yeah, he takes the cream off the top, and yeah. We only do it for our investors. Investors, there are 3 ways to score. I know the title was, how do you win? There are 3 ways you can win. Or you can try any one of them or all of them. The hard way. You have to learn first, learn a lot, and we can help you, or your club can help, whatever. We have a whole academy. We now call it the Foreclosure Academy, Texas. Then you got to do it all yourself. That's choice number 1. And that's okay. We have a lot of people who do that, and we're all right with that. The easier way is let us do whatever part of the process that you don't want to do yourself, and we'll do that for you. A lot of people like that. You know, they like to go out to the auctions, or one auction and still bid in 2 or 3 more, or, you know, something along those lines. And then the easy way. That's what most of our out-of-state investors do. They let us do it all, but some in-state too. You know, they want to be passive investors, and this allows you to bid in as many counties as you want all the same day. You can personally go to one and bid in 3 others at the same time. That we'll do for you. It looks like there was a question, no? Okay. There's another choice. Those are three choices for investors. There's a choice as not just as an investor, but as a member investor. We want investors to join us so we can cover more counties. We need more people to help us do that with the tax sales and the trustee sales. We can't do it all. We've probably only got 30 or 40 or 50 people that are doing it, and not everybody can do it every month, and some do it every now and then, all kinds of things. That's why we developed this academy I mentioned, and our theme is learn and earn. Priority membership is what we have. That's the pinnacle we have, is a priority member. Gets first choice on everything we do. No charge for the classes. And when I say everything we do, the biggest problem you will have as an investor is, where do I go to get the list of the counties? Well, we send it out because there's no one place to go. Bunches of places to go. And then, where do you get the properties? Well, we send those lists out. The list of every property in every county that is for sale, with data along with it. What's the minimum bid? What's the address? How many square feet? How old is the mortgage? All this stuff. We do all that at no charge for our members, because it doesn't make sense for everybody to have to do it on their own. We do it for our members. Now, if you're not a member, we sell it, but our members don't pay anything. And it's a free list of the counties for both sales in both times, venues, and data on all the counties. The lowest cost of service, earn fees. That's what happens. We charge fees for doing that for our members who want us to go out and take a picture of the property, for example. What does it look like? What's the school like? All that stuff. We send somebody out, one of our members out, and there's a fee for that. The fees are very low for our members, but a lot of outside people want it. Whatever it is that they pay, we split with you if you're the one who goes out. So you kind of get paid for doing what you should be doing for yourself anyway. And the same thing about going to the auctions. So only the priority members can bid and earn at the trustee sale. So everybody has to start with the tax sales. They're a lot more complicated, but right now they're sort of on the decline, and the trustee sales are on the all up for a couple of reasons, and we'll get to in a second.
What was that again? What's on the decline?
The tax sales, the number of them that actually get to the sale. Last month, like I said, 70% of the properties we were bidding on last month got pulled from the sale, paid off the morning of the sale. That sounds a little strange, doesn't it? It is a little strange, and we'll talk about it in a second. But that's the priority member. Then we have a provisional member, gets all the same training, no charge for all the classes, free list of the counties, free list of the properties, all that. Time, venue, and data, everything. And they get the second lowest cost. The first was the priority member, and the next lowest is this. For example, there's the 3% commission if we win a bid that our priority members pay. The provisionals pay 5%. Someone who's not a member pays 7%. And we split that with you if you're the one who goes to the sale. And the earnings apply. If you're a provisional, you don't get it in cash, you get it towards your priority membership, because the priority membership costs more than the provisional. So a lot of people want to try it out first, dip their toe in the water before they do it. And we encourage that. That's what I would do. And I'll show you why in a minute. And then anytime they like it, they can pay the difference. So we teach you what to do. We take you with us to show you what to do after we have classes online with Zoom. And then we physically will take you with us to show you what to do. And then after you've learned, you can do it for yourself. And at the same time, if you're going to go for yourself, we'll give you others to look at for other people so you can earn while you're going doing it for yourself anyway. Who says you can't have your cake and eat it too? So you can go and get paid for going. I mean, how good, I wanted to name this class, How to Get Paid Even If You Don't Win the Bid. Of course, it's not as much as if you do win the bid, but it's possible. Kind of a no-brainer because foreclosures have the least competition and the lowest prices. We cover the whole state. We have free real estate classes on PowerPoint. We have online with Zoom on PowerPoint. We've identified which foreclosures you should go for because we don't publish all of them. We could, and we have all the counties, but it doesn't make sense. I'm not going to do Brownsville, whatever county that is, for example. Or we're probably not going to do Dallas or Fort Worth or Tarrant or in the Triangle, the big cities, because unless you have a particular property you want to, it's not easily won. A lot of competition there. But if you want to, we would. But as what we put out free initially is not that. It's the counties that we feel like are most reachable.
So,
Yeah.
correct me if I'm wrong,
Sure.
Arnie, that some of the reason that there's so much competition is, we're sitting here talking about investors buying, right? But homeowners go to these same auctions. And is a homeowner going to offer more on a house than you and I? So you have to remember that. And that's one of the great ideas Arnie's done, changing the focus and getting away from the triangle and get into the less competitive areas where investors have a better chance of buying. But the owner occupants, I've been to one auction and I'm never going back because of what I saw. I mean, I researched for a week 5 properties that I was interested
County,
in.
right?
And no, actually, it was Dallas.
Okay.
It was Dallas back then. But all that work I put in those 5 properties doing that analysis, they blew by my max offer so quick. I mean, it just went, so
That's the
all
problem.
that work for nothing.
Yeah.
That making a tax sale or was that
That was a tax sale.
Yeah. And by the way, a number of them have gone online. Dallas County is online. You're competing against the world there, not just the people who go to the sale.
Yeah.
Tarrant's not online yet that I know of. Harris County, that's crazy. Houston, they have 8 different precincts. Each precinct has their own auction, same time, same room, all going on at the same time. It's a madhouse. It's a bigger room than this, but even so, it's crazy. But a lot of them are online. Smith County, that's, around here. So, and we, by the way, we still bid on some of those for our investors. If they, you can bid, anybody can bid online, but a lot of people want us to do it for them because it's a little complicated. But anyway, we know how to overcome all those challenges and we can teach you all you want to know. We have a learn and earn program, as I mentioned. We can even do it all for you, just what you don't want to do, any part of it. We even have a way that you can get involved at a very low cost. Just one small hiccup. Everything sounds so rosy. Let me give you the reality. The foreclosure market has changed. The tax sales, major number of properties withdrawn at the tax sale. I told you last month, 70% of the ones we were bidding on. More cancellations of the entire auctions at the last minute are happening. Now, I'm not going to put this in writing, but I'll tell you why. There are several legal lien lenders, companies, and we looked into it to become one. We didn't want to once we figured out what it was. But there's several of them that are sending postcards and dropping in and doing all kinds of things to the people about to lose their house, saying, look, we'll loan you the money to pay it and no payment for 12 months. How great a deal is that? And they sign up for it. In a typical case we saw where a lady owed $9,000 and didn't have it. And so she said, okay, I'll go for that. And people who don't make their payments are pretty much generally procrastinators. She didn't save up the 9,000, but it wouldn't have made a difference because she got a bill for 21,000 after 12 months. And those are those lean lenders out of San Antonio for the most part. And they're the ones that us and some people like us started to get to these people first. And we help them out. And we do that kind of stuff. And so I think, I can't prove this, but they started this, they went on AI to accelerate their getting to all these people. And now they purposely waited to the last minute to try to discourage us. I think this for a number of reasons, one of which about a year ago, I ran into one of these guys at a tax sale. He's the only one there in this little Rains County. You ever hear of Rains County? Yeah. You know, it's a little town, right? Right before the sale, everybody's dressed kind of like we all are today. Here's the guy with the suit and tie. Comes up to me before the sale, and he knew who I was somehow, introduced himself and said, I'm with my, I'll tell you, we're recording. He's with Ovation. That's one of the companies. And he introduced himself. It turns out, you know, he was very nice and said, great. And there were a list of properties to bid on. The very first one happened to be the only one he and I were bidding on, and the only ones bidding, because it was a couple of municipal buildings in this little town. And the bidding started off, I think, around 40,000, and somebody said 45, 50, and after that, it was just him and me. We were in the 220s when he finally let me have it for 226. And he came over, shook my hand, said, enjoyed meeting you, good luck. Gone. And I didn't stay for the rest of the sale because I wanted to go make the payment for it. There was a line from everybody else. That's the only one we wanted there. And I'm convinced that that's the attitude. They're finding, they knew who we were. They knew who we were bidding for. And I think that's what's trying to happen. I think they're trying to do that. So we're not going to stand for it. Don't worry. We just bought a property 2 months ago. And I got a call 2 days after the sale, the tax sale, from the constable. It was the constable. He said, by the way, we got to cancel that sale and do it again next month. I said, why? He said, well, I got a call from the lawyers and they said that we didn't advertise it in the paper with the proper language. I said, I need more information. He said, well, we're going to cancel the sale. I said, no, you're not. We're not going to accept that unless you get that. He never heard that from anybody before. So he finds out, he calls me back. He says, yeah, well, the description that the sale was going to be at the north door of the courthouse in Hunt County. It should have said outside the north door. I said, even if it's raining and the door is locked, it's supposed to be outside. He said, I don't know. That's what the lawyer said. I said, where are the lawyers? He called me back. Well, they were in McKinney. I said, in McKinney? Why were they worried about this one? Well, it turns out they were representing one of those companies out of San Antonio under another deal. We told them no. The constable went along with us and fought him, went to the attorneys and said, they said, it's yours, do it. And we refused to do it. Nobody had ever told him that before. You know, so there's a lot of that stuff going on. Interesting. There's a little more to it, but that's the basics. Anyway, I didn't mean to get off of that. So that's the text for
Arnie, we got another question.
Yes.
Let's say it's 10,000, but the bid can go.
Talk into the mic. I can't.
Okay, so with the tax lien.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay.
Okay, so can you hear me okay?
Yes.
If not, he'll tell me.
All right, I'll try to talk louder. So with the tax lien auctions.
It's tax deed auction.
Okay,
in
that.
Texas. There's a big difference.
Okay, so let's just say is the bid starts at 10,000. The bid can go higher than that.
Oh,
And so,
can't go lower.
right,
Yeah,
but it
if
can
you're
go
50
higher.
Yeah.
So, they're only wanting what is owed to them. Is that correct? And so what's the remaining of that money? Where does that go? I'm just curious.
You mean what, everything over?
So let's just
It
say
goes
the
to the own-
homeowner,
It goes to the owner.
it goes to the owner
You're right, if they claim it.
if they claim it.
Yeah.
Okay.
And some of the counties are pretty slow on letting them claim it. First thing we do, that's the first thing we do, is we let the old owners know that they need to go to the appraisal district and claim it. Great question, and you're correct.
I didn't hear everything that she
But
said, sorry.
she was the one who was prompting me to give you the correct answer. Yeah.
If everyone would please speak up a little bit louder, or maybe even stand up as well so that everybody can hear,
And
please.
we're almost done. Now, the trustee sales, there are more of them than ever before. Now, think about it. Prices have gone up. That means your insurance costs have gone up, which means your premium is going up. And the taxes are going up, which means you're going to pay more there too. There are going to be more and more and more foreclosures. And that's not even counting the people on variable percentage rates. And when those go up, it's going to really be crazy. There are people out there forgetting that just on those two other things, that their monthly payments are double. It's crazy. It's going to happen. Now,
Hey, Arnie.
yes.
Yeah, before you leave the tax deed sales, on those tax sales, those are only tax deeds, right? They're not tax liens, or can they
Correct.
be both?
No. In Texas, it's a tax deed state. Some states are tax lien states. Other states are both. But
Okay,
Texas
gotcha.
is just deeds. Good question. That means you're buying the property, not buying the debt.
Correct.
in
Okay, thank you.
Texas. Yeah, good question. Thank you. Okay, they're becoming more difficult to find because they don't really want to sell. They want to keep them. So they're not doing anything illegal. They're just not going out of their way to tell us about them. So we know why, how to deal with those situations for you and for all of our members. Like most hurdles, when they're overcome, they lead to even more success. That's why, I used to get questions all the time when I was really on the circuit doing this kind of stuff, saying, why are you giving so much information? Because we spent this much time just explaining how they work. Today, we kind of skimmed through it. But the more information you give, the better off you are. And finally, honestly, the more people learn about it, the more they see where we can be of benefit to them. So it's a win-win, And now you know exactly what to do, but do you really want to go out and look at all the counties to find out which ones are having a sale? Then look at all the properties and figure out how much data is, we'll do all that for you. So we need more investors now to help us. Your opportunity is to learn, take advantage for yourself, and earn for joining us as we help other investors. That's why we call it Learn and Earn. So you're invited to join us. If you sign up tonight, you don't have to pay tonight, but if you sign up and there's a place in the back to do that, we're going to give you a special discount because we need more members. I can't tell you what an understatement this is. We have I got a call yesterday from a new investment entity. Says we have 1 million we want to place in Texas next month at the tax seat. We rarely, I'm sorry?
Can't hear you.
They said we have 1 million or more that we want to buy properties at the tax sale next month. They want us to do for them. Now, we normally don't have over 500,000 and don't win all the bids, So that's a big deal. And there are more institutions like that are finding us because nobody else is covering the whole state. That's why we need more people to share it with. The priority membership, $7,500. It's a one-time fee, that's it. And because the man here is he's such a tough guy. He maybe give you a discount of $1,000 if you sign up tonight, but you don't have to pay tonight, but sign up. Get $1,000 discount. The provisional membership, which is $900, which is really what I would suggest you do, because I make it sound maybe great, and you may not like to do it or whatever. You need to try it first. Dip your toe in the water before you jump in. So I would try that. You get everything's the same, only when you earn it, you get it as a credit towards the membership until it hits that $7,500, and then you get cash, and you can pay the difference anytime you want. But that's the way to start off, I think. That's what I would do. And by the way, there's a discount on that also.
Oh.
Oh.
Provisional members.
Okay. Oh, that's it. Any questions?
So, yes, I have a question. So
Hold on a second, Janice. Hold on, Janice.
Okay.
Don't well, our base company is Texas Tax Sales Resource Group. I have cards in the back with that on there. And we formed a new company just to do the foreclosures, the trustees. But that's just an internal thing. It's still the base company. That one's called FAST. Foreclosure Auction Services of Texas. That's just for us, bookkeeping wise. Good question. I'm sorry, you had a question?
Yes. So the difference between priority membership and provisional.
Yes, there's a priority and a provisional. The difference?
So what's the? I mean, yeah.
Well,
What's the difference?
The difference is that when you earn money and you're a priority, you get the cash. If you're a provisional, you get credit towards the priority.
Okay.
Or you can make up the difference whenever you wish. But that way you can dip your toe in the water before jumping in. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I apologize. I didn't want to slow you down in the presentation, but
I'm sorry, you're what?
I didn't want to slow you down earlier, but I'm ignorant on the tax and the trustee, okay? So if you could help clarify when there's an example, someone hasn't paid their property taxes, right?
Yeah, if you don't pay your property taxes directly and you've been paying them directly and you don't, then the taxing authorities can have an auction and sell off your property.
Who's doing that? The county?
The county.
Okay, so the county, you haven't paid, now you're at 18 months, right?
The county, the city, the school district, all of
They
those.
come
Yeah.
in, right? Now it's gonna be, okay, we're gonna, because you haven't paid it, you're so far behind, we're gonna now put it on auction, right?
Right.
And you had a bullet point that said that if you're awarded that at the auction, that it forgives, correct me if I'm wrong, you forgive any non-government liens?
It wipes out
Okay,
any
so-
non-government liens,
So if
yes.
they have a mortgage.
Yeah, it wipes it
now
out.
with
Wipes it out.
pay or yeah,
Wipes it
okay,
out.
It wipes it out
Yeah.
completely.
Yeah, but it doesn't happen that often because most people pay their taxes through the mortgage company, and that's a separate deal. But if you don't, and it wipes it out, and that's why sometimes the mortgage company will buy the property.
Okay, so the mortgage company will more likely than not, obviously send a representative because they don't want the chances. of
Not
someone-
necessarily. There's so few of those anyway. It's really,
So that's actually,
because most people use pay their mortgage, pay their taxes through the mortgage. They
I mean,
ask-
but there's people that don't, like, I
Yeah.
don't pay mine through it because I've
That's
got
right.
interest on my money, then
Yeah.
give it to the government.
Exactly. And so you.
Default on that, then
So they could definitely take your property and it would wipe out the mortgage. But they might redeem it. They have the right to redeem it too.
But and then again, I know you've spoken this, the redemption period.
Yeah, if you lose it,
Yeah.
or if you're about to lose, well, they can redeem it. They can buy it back by paying whoever bought it plus 25%.
And that period is.
Yeah, 6 months to 2 years. If it's a homestead, it's 2 years.
2 years homestead, if they don't have a homestead.
And if it's in the
6
second year, it goes to 50%, by the way.
Second year, 50% plus what you purchased it for?
Well, they have to pay you what you paid
Yeah.
plus 50%.
Plus 50%.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You don't see a lot of it, but that's the theory of it. Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Just to share for the group, mortgage companies, whenever somebody doesn't escrow in with the payment, they want to do their own taxes and insurance, mortgage companies charge a little fee, and they use that fee to pay companies to monitor the taxes to make sure the mortgage company doesn't get in a situation where you're going to tax sale when you still have a mortgage. They will step in because they have that interest, but they pay a service to monitor tax sales, to check the addresses for the properties they have.
You can tell she's been a realtor for a long time. Thank you. You're correct.
What?
Who pays the fee?
Who pays the fee? The borrower pays a fee at closing to have the right to not escrow. And that fee goes, well, you didn't know it, but they put it in there.
Well, excuse me,
So,
would y'all
yeah,
mind doing
it's
that
part of-
afterwards?
I just
Yeah.
wanted to say
We
that.
have another question over here.
Myself.
Okay, let's continue with this. And then,
Here's the question between the tax sale and the foreclosure. On the tax sale, any overages over the bid is actually the homeowners. That the homeowner can come back and claim at a later date. What about the other sale, the foreclosure sale on the house? If you don't pay your mortgage and it gets foreclosed on, and that gets bid up. They're looking for their mortgage to come, to get equal. If you get over, does that go to the bank? Does that go to the seller?
That's a good question. You don't see it much. Probably, they could claim it, but it's probably like everything else. You gotta go take action with it.
It's called surplus.
I'm sorry?
It goes to the homeowner. Goes to the homeowner.
Yeah, yeah, they're entitled to it, yes. Yep. Yes.
Well, would you mind to speak up and repeat, because I couldn't hear earlier. When you go to the trustee sale and you got a bid, how could you pay the money? I know you say something, but I just couldn't hear. Would you
have
mind
to
to?
pay it right then.
Yeah, I mean,
Well,
how
have
do you
to-
know how much to write?
Well, you gotta get a lot of different denominations of cashier checks.
And that's the price you're gonna beat it. Is that right? So you can,
Well, let's suppose that the opening bid is, make a number, 50,000.
yeah,
And you're gonna bid up to 100,000.
yeah.
So you ought to have one cashier check for 50, probably two or three at 10, a few 5,000s and some ones.
Oh,
Because
okay.
you don't know what it's gonna be, so you gotta have enough to do that.
So a little change. And what about if you pay a little bit more? You don't
Well,
have
you're
that.
not gonna pay it. You keep those that you don't pay and go back to the bank, get your money back. When the
Okay.
leftover.
For example, you don't have a smaller than 1,000. You probably had to make, and then so the mean is that they don't give you change back in the tax
They're
fee
not
sale.
doing
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
Oh.
Take a few quarters,
Piggyback on that.
please.
When you do go to the auction, you got a fee, one-time fee, unrefundable, and then you got a deposit, which is refundable after, or it goes towards the, your bid that you have, paid for. So you'll know, some of the auction places will give you 24 hours sometimes.
Okay.
To pay that.
Very
in a
rare.
in a cashier's check.
Yeah.
That's sometimes.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
Yes,
Most time is paying right in.
Yeah.
Right there,
Yeah.
yeah.
you know, sometimes you can make an arrangement with the company if you
Yeah.
do enough business and that kind of stuff, and some of them are more lenient than others.
Is there a fixed amount on that deposit?
No, a lot of, places, each county has a certain amount, but it's up to 5,000, as low as 2,000.
And by the way, on the trustee sales, when he calls out the opening bid, and often you don't know what it is until you get there, your first bid has to say plus $1.
Right.
That's what you say, it's plus $1. The tax sales, you just say minimum. So just a fine line, but the minimum works sometime because I got to tell you, there was a sale once not long ago where it's just one woman and I were the only ones there. And there were other people there, but the only ones bidding for a particular property. And he called out all the information and said, okay, bid's now open. I said, minimum. Instead of what he could have said was opening bid is $14,672.13, which is what he said in this case. And I said minimum. And the woman across there, I looked at the sheriff and I said, how long are you going to wait? He says, you're right, sold. So we teach our people to say minimum, never to say the amount. Every now and then it works.
So
I,
For the auction, or can you do it before the auction?
With-
If you have the list?
With whom?
With
You're gonna
the
call them up?
parents?
You're gonna call them up and try to buy it beforehand? Get in line. There are about 100 people ahead of you.
A lot of times, does that happen?
No.
And if you do it.
First of all, you go knock on the door, slam in your face.
But what if you get lucky
Well,
and they don't slam it?
we try to get there early.
Okay.
And what we do is leave a flyer that says some stuff that you're about to get this and that, and call us, and sometimes it works. But you know what happens? Think about it. If it's your house and all of a sudden they announce this and you get 6 people a day coming in, knocking on the door, ringing the bell. Pretty soon you put water over the door as soon as they all, something like that. But really, it's
If you're doing all the work, for example, and you're going to the auction for myself, are you gonna have the cashier's checks, or do I still have to provide them?
oh, you got to come up with the money.
I just wanted to know because.
Yeah.
It just sounds like a lot to come up with all those.
Yeah,
different denominations.
the way we work it, if we're going out to bid for you, you deposit the money in an account that we have just for that. On the day of the sale, I'm at the bank and my bookkeeper is at the bank. Everybody else is out at the auctions. As soon as somebody wins a bid, they text us. We won this bid, $6,014.12. We go and put it in their account. They go to the branch, pick up the check and pay it.
Okay, so we can put $100,000 in an account and
Yeah.
then you just take out.
Yeah, and we'll give you writing saying, hey, we got your 100,000 and,
I got you.
you know, and it's a Chase Bank. It's not some podunk
Okay.
deal.
That's good to know. I'm glad you said.
Yes, ma'am.
And I didn't hear everything that you said regarding this.
I'm sorry.
You said that some companies are getting to the homeowners before it goes to auction for them to pay off what they owe for the tax, right?
Yep.
Now you had mentioned that this is the part that I wasn't clear on or I heard. So what happens after that? So they tell them you have 12 months to pay this. And then you said after that 12 months, they're surprised about how much now they owe. Is that what you were saying?
What they do is they buy the deed. They buy the lien. They create a lien. That's what it is. They're gonna, if you owe 12,000, they're gonna create a lien for 12,000, and they're gonna pay it off with that 12,000, and they own that lien. 12 months later, you can't come up with the 2 million or whatever it is that they want you to, then they have, by law, they have to try to sell that lien. If nobody is to buy it, which is why they don't want anybody to know about it, then they can claim it. But they have to, by law, offer it for sale. We know how to find them.
You know how to find it. Okay.
Most of them. Well, last night I have a list of 250 of them for the next sale. And spread over all the counties. There are more, of course, and we're not going to get them all, but now we're going to go through and see which ones may have equity. And it's not so easy because they don't exactly give you what the minimum bid is. You have to see what the date of that mortgage started and how many months it's been and do the figure and the interest rate and all that and to get close. But
when that tax lien company buys that, pays that $12,000, they have a very high interest rate on that note, right?
plus expenses.
Yeah. Do
Yeah.
you know what that interest rate is?
No.
Yeah.
They can make it look like whatever they want.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, we are now working with a company recently, I mean, so recently, like this week, who said, let's go after them and offer a lower interest rate and make it more equitable. And they want to, and they said, we got 10 million to start it with. They want they're not in Texas and they want our guidance on how to do it. We'll see.
A lot of these tax loan providers
Yeah.
are outrageous.
They are.
The word that's usually used with that conversation is shark.
Yeah.
Okay. So
I'll tell you what we like to do. This is really fun. It happened by accident several years ago. I was in Morris County. You want to know where Morris County is? It's on the map. It's a little like that. It's just south of Dangerfield, okay, in East Texas. And it's a little community called Lone Star because they once had a Lone Star steel plant there that's vacant. It's like a suburb of Dangerfield there. And I was talking to a single mom who had 3 kids. She had a house worth about $150,000, and she owed, what was it, $12,000, something like that. Couldn't come up with it, and she's going to lose her house. I said, we looked at the house and all this stuff, and said, well, here's what I'll do. We'll buy the house from you now for the $12,000 plus a little bit to put in your pocket, and then we'll lease it to you for 6 months. We'll rent it to you for 6 months. She said, for how much a month? I said, what's comfortable? She said, 400. I said, okay, 400 a month. And if you make your payments on time, then we'll owner finance it back to you for the same price we buy it for, plus 25%, which is what the redemption would have been. She said, you do that? I said, yeah. She said, make it 20,000. So I put some in the pocket. I said, done. We'll buy it and sell it back to you for 25. Now, everybody wins in that.
Yeah.
Our investor made the 25%, got 6 months of rent, got the interest on that. She gets to keep her house. I mean, we love doing that. Everybody wins. And she's still with us. It's like 3 or 4 years now. You know, she paid it and, you know, she's buying it back. She's happy. So and you feel good about those deals. You know, you really do.
Investors that act as your bank.
I'm saying, is there a pool of investors that
Kind of act as your bank in those scenarios?
what?
They act as your bank, your
Is our
financer.
bank?
Yeah.
They're the ones funding the purchase.
What we do, we ask our members, here's the deal, who wants? And sometimes several of them will get together and do it and all that. Yeah, great question. Yeah. And you really feel good on those, you know.
So
we're the best kept secret in the state.
Your done for you option, Arnie.
Yeah.
I don't know how many people still working a full-time job? You know, if you don't have the time, this done for you option is a great option. You can still learn as you go forward, but if you don't have time, then that's a great option if you're looking for tax needs.
Honestly, most of our players, our members have other jobs. They take 1 day a month or 2 days, you know, if they want to go out and preview a property, they want to go over to the sale. Some people do it a lot more, but we have a lot of them that they keep the regular job. We have one other little thing that you can think of later and say, why didn't I ask that? And that is, if I have somebody going out to bid for me and my maximum bid is $40,000 on a $100,000 property, and the bidding stops at 20, how do I know that he's not going to bid 40 because he's on commission? Right? Has that occurred to anyone? We have a program we call LBI, low bid incentive, where they make more money at 20 than they would at 40. So you're guaranteed to get the lowest possible price. And
Is that included?
Well, that's plus the 3%. But everything we do is included if you're a member. Let me tell you how that works, because you need to know that, and we'll tell you if you're going to ever bid with us. You know, it's 3% if you're a priority member. But if your maximum bid, let's say, is 40, and we buy it for 20, we just saved you $20,000. 10% of that, $2,000, comes into us, and we split that with the person who went to bid. So everybody wins again. Saved them $18,000. Everybody got paid a little more for doing a good deal. So it's kind of fun. It really is.
Okay.
I got to do some.
Any other
more
questions?
I'm sorry.
I do. I have another question.
Okay. Shoot.
So, say if a person is deceased and they I mean, and the heritage or like they inherit that from that person or a family, you know, because it's a
Right.
family member.
Uh-huh.
And now I know you have the options to able to sell it or
Well, let me stop you for a second. That comes up quite a bit. In many cases, they never went through probate. And they never went through a lawyer to do it. And technically, they are not the owners of the house.
okay.
And so they can't do anything. They get nothing if it sells. And if they lose, they get nothing on it. Now, what we've done in running into cases like that is we will make a deal. Well, we can't buy it from them because they're not the owners. So we will try to go buy it at the auction and then go back to them and owner finance it for them. You know,
Oh, so it goes through
well, that's the best
the
we can
bank.
do. That's the best we can do. If they didn't go through probate, they're not the legal owners. Am I right? I mean, so they can't redeem it.
Okay.
It's a tough deal. Great
Hey,
question.
Arnie?
Yes.
Yeah, Arnie, on your provisional membership, with the 750, how does that, if this payment can be deferred, how long is that deferred? How does that work?
Give me a call. It's
Okay.
not gonna be deferred for long, but we'll give you a few days if you want. I mean,
Gotcha.
yeah.
I
Yeah.
I have one more question before you go that I've never been able to get a straight answer on. So
Uh-oh.
maybe you got it for me. Because I've seen some strange stuff about how far behind on taxes people can be. What is the county's deciding factor on when they decide to foreclose due to back taxes? When do they do it? Is it 1 year? Is it 2 years? Is it 22 years? Because you know somebody?
The answer is whenever they decide. Every county is different and there's no rule.
That is just the
Oh.
strangest
Yeah. Well, here's
way of
let-
controlling.
Let me tell you what. In some cases, they'll make a deal with the guy that say, okay, I owe 10,000. I can give you 5,000 now. Okay, I'll give you a 6-month extension to come up with the other 5. And then they come up with 3 and say, I need another extension for 2. All sorts of deals are made. And you get somebody who's head of that department and they say, no deals, either all or none, or every one of them's different.
I have seen houses that had more back taxes due on them than the house was worth.
Yeah.
Seriously. I mean,
Yeah.
house needed to be bulldozed and this one house had owed $22,000 in taxes.
Yeah. But now you can't get a lot for that, so it's worth it.
Yeah. Yeah. This was a few years ago, but I mean, there's just no logic behind how could that ever happen? How could the county defer that, and keep playing along for whatever reason?
Well, they've got some people in those departments that don't have a clue.
That's what they did Dallas County, because it was 11 of us. They had to find all of us first. So that took years.
Yeah.
And that took years. So by the time I found out, it was up to 25,000, where the house was paid off, but the
That's right.
sibling who was living there, we did not know he was not paying the taxes.
Yeah.
So by the time it got to us, it had taken almost 5 years before they found all of us. And
Yeah. With the tax sale, they have to, if somebody dies out of probate and there is no, they've got to, if there are relatives, they, by law, have to try to contact every one of them and give them an opportunity to pay before they can put it on there. And sometimes it takes years to find them all. That's really the case if you've got one name on there and they've got brothers and sisters and stuff like that. Some of that happens. I ran into that in county a few years ago, and it was 2 years before they got everybody to locate it and did it, and then we got the property, and then they undid the sale. One of those lien
There's all
companies got
kinds
to
of
'em.
different scenarios. So,
Yeah.
okay, we need to wrap this up. Any last question for Arnie? What do you want them to do?
I have cards back there with my
Okay.
number, my phone. I prefer phone calls to text because I talk faster than I can type. And there are no short answers in this deal. So
And
feel free
for
to
the
call me.
people that want to sign up today, you want them to see Maria? She's got a list here.
Sure, just sign up right here and then I'll be in touch with you.
Okay,
That'd be
so
great.
if you're interested in signing up, didn't have to pay today, sign up and then Arnie's gonna call you.
Yeah, and even if you just have questions, feel free. I love questions.
Yes. So I have another question. So when will I know the learning thingy for the real estates now when can we continue our learning if you want to go further
Well, you
into this?
decide which membership you want because we're only going to teach our members. We don't want to teach our competition.
Right.
Yeah, and then
Okay.
it starts probably next week.
Oh,
We
next-
usually, we have classes on Zoom and we have been doing them on Thursday night and Saturday mornings. And you can take your choice, the same class and do one week and one the next. But we're expanding the classes now, so there's going to be a lot more options. You won't be required to do all of them, but we're going to have a lot more available because it's
Okay.
getting kind of.
And where can you sign up? Are you going to send us the link or email us? How is that for?
So, Janice, please, for anybody online that wants to register or get more questions, go into the chat, put your name and your phone number, and Maria will get that information out of the chat and then put it on the list to give to Arnie.
Okay. So go to the
Okay.
chat.
So just go to the chat, put your name and the best phone number for you. First name
Okay.
and last name, please.
An email address if possible.
Oh, and an email address.
Okay.
Well, thank all of you. You've been great with a lot of questions. No, thank you. I'm to you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you. Thank
You
you.
have my mic back there.
Oh, only.
Told you I wasn't letting you out.
Well, okay.
It's better that I do it than the Marines outside the door.
Let's hope email.
I figured Maria.
Okay, let me just wrap up. We got a couple admin notes here. So the titles for next month, I don't have it, but know that we have, it's a 2-for-1 kind of a month. You're gonna have Andrew Bryant with Bryant's Property Management talking to us. And we're gonna have Milton Coatgrove from new law firm that came on board as a sponsor. He's gonna be talking to us about recent legislation updates. Very important that you be here for those legislative updates. Very important. So we're going to have this event announced in the next couple of days. So watch your calendar and get registered for that. So we're going to wrap things up here. Please help us promote the group. Again, I've said this several times. This is just another way to say it, but here's a little incentive. I won't bore you with reading the whole thing, but you can go through and read this afternoon when I get it uploaded to the site. We're going to give you credits. We're going to give you REIA bucks. That's real money in your account. You can use the REIA bucks for buying courses and for membership renewal when it's time. That's real money in your account. No other REIA group in North Texas pays you to attend or pays you to bring referrals in and stuff. So help us out with that. And then if you have a guest that becomes a vendor, you get even more. 6 free months of membership plus one of these fancy coffee mugs. I mean, this is priceless. I mean, you could go on eBay with this, make okay. So please help us with these folks. Now, again, we're kind of fussy. Gotta be
Yes,
something
I'm
we
becoming a
trust, right?
vendor.
And make sure that that real estate related, somebody you've used before in your business and so forth, so based on our discussion today, did you learn anything?
Yes.
Arnie did a good job, didn't he? Didn't let you down? Anybody disappointed in anything?
It's such a pleasure to talk to people that understand. Thank you.
And thank you, Arnie. Okay, So there's another shot at the members. For non-members, you can scan this QR code. Again, Maria has this on her computer and it will be in the presentation. So please join us. $5. I think every one of you in here is worth a $5 investment in yourself for 30 days, or at least I hope so. Reviews. I can't tell you how much, and you all should be thinking the same way for your business, trying to get reviews with everybody that you do business with. You don't have to have a review. You don't have to get a deal done, buy or sell a house to get a review, do you? The answer is, if you've helped somebody, ask for a review. Okay? I'm asking you, I'd like for your reviews of the group. Very important for the next person considering the 5-star ratings. And actually, if you go look online, we are one of the top rated groups on Google. So that's pretty good. But we need more. We need frequent reviews. We need your reviews. And all it takes is click that here link or that QR code, and it takes you probably 30 seconds to actually do it. Okay. And what I like for you to do in that review is tell us how we're doing. I mean, I could give you what to write, but that's not what it should say, right? Naturally, I'm going to say good things, but I want you to tell us how we're doing. Good, bad, where we need to improve. So, very important to us. We can do that today before you leave if you'd like. We like video reviews if you want to take 30 seconds and do something while we're here today. But any of those is much appreciated. So these are, I'm just going to thumb through these real quick. These are all tools that we use in our business. And we talked a little bit about these. These are all in the store. You can go click those QR codes in the store and register. I think every one of those tools has a minimum of 7-day trial all the way up to a 60-day trial to go try them. Don't go sign up for all of them today. Okay? Go try one at a time so that you get a chance to use the trial, test the tools, and see if they work for you. Does every tool work for each of us? No. I mean, some are more user-friendly than others. Some are more techy than others. Some are really simple. You got to figure out which one works best for you based on what you're trying to do with it. So, you know, there's not a lot of choices for comps. Unless you're a realtor, you need either Propelio, and now we have another addition for comps, RealFlow. RealFlow now has MLS comps integrated into it nationwide, which is powerful. Okay, so there are other options, and RealFlow now has AI in it, built into it. So it's got its own chat GPT kind of thing in RealFlow. So you're going to see more from me on that because I'm such a RealFlow fan anyhow, but now with AI and MLS comps built in, I'll be doing a webinar soon. So watch for that. I'm available for just about anything you need help with. All you got to do is ask, okay? Whether that's joint venturing or mentoring, hourly consulting, call and ask, email and ask, okay? No such thing as a dumb question. So if you have a joint venture deal, you can come in and click that link right there at the bottom and submit that deal to me, and I will look at it. It comes to me directly. I'll look at it and let you know if it's a deal you should be able to go do with a little bit of guidance, in which case we're not going to JV. But if you need my help and there's a deal, of course, if there's not a deal, I'm going to tell you, right? So you should appreciate the no. It's just like going to borrow hard money. If the hard money lender tells you no, you should thank them, buy them lunch. Okay? Makes sense? All right. Now, with all this information you learned today, you need to go buy a house. Next month when you come, we got to have some house stories, right?
Yes.
Still come if you don't have. But, and that's it. I'm going to leave that one up there, but that's the end of the day. Any parting comments, questions? Thank you all for coming.
Thank you.